as a person who loves history, when you map out the evolution of the city, what are some major historical events that you feel shaped this city in terms of the layout, demographic, the culture? Are there some major, maybe not even just events, people as well, that you feel had such a significant impact on the city?
Oh, there's a lot of them. There was, of course, when the Dutch originally came and sort of tricked the Lenape people into selling them the land. So that was sort of the first big thing. One of the things that I think is really interesting about the Dutch is that they kind of didn't care what religion you were, what ethnic background you had, what race you were. They really only cared that you knew how to make money. And I feel like that really set New York City on its trajectory for the rest of its history, because they said, if you know how to make money, you are welcome in New Amsterdam. And that set us up as a trading colony.
Mm-hmm.
And we have literally always been a World Trade Center site because of that. It really set us up as this economic center of the United States, which I feel in many ways has shaped the entire history of New York City. Of course, there's when the British came and took it over from the Dutch and it became New York. There's the American Revolution. I feel like I talk a lot about the American Revolution in a lot of my tours, but that's mostly because I do a lot of lower Manhattan tours. Great Depression. I feel that the Great Depression in many ways showed us who we were more so than any other event up until that point.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes back to the Empire State Building. Empire State Building was completed in 1931. That is a year that many people would consider to be the height of the Great Depression, when I believe it was 1/3 of America's population was unemployed.
Yeah.
And yet, during the height of the Great Depression, New York City managed to reach the highest point in the sky that any building would reach for the next 41 years. And to me, the fact that we could do that during the height of the Great Depression showed us the spirit of New York, that yes, we'll get knocked down, we'll go through hard times, we'll go through depressions, but through it all, we're all dreaming big and we're continually reaching to that highest point in the sky that we can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that would come back into play. Of course, 9/11 is one of the major events that shaped not just New York City history, but all of American history. But once again, with 9/11, we kind of came together. And when I give World Trade Center site tours, I always talk about how we came together and we rose like a phoenix from the ashes, stronger than we were before.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I'm not sure if there is an exact moment that I can pinpoint in our history for New York that we became those people who are going to endure all the hardships. It might have even been the American Revolution. British took over quite early, but we still came back as New Yorkers. But I feel like the Great Depression for me is maybe like the moment that we were gonna rise no matter what. There was, of course, the time when we actually got put on the grid system. There was DeWitt Clinton creating the Erie Canal that really solidified us as this worldwide trade center gateway into Middle America. So yeah, there's a lot of moments.
So many moments. You mentioned the Dutch colony, and I was so fascinated to discover how many of the names that we have for the areas around are still inspired from Dutch names, like Brooklyn, Staten Island, or like Bedford-Stuyvesant or something of that sort, right? Van Cortlandt Park, all these Dutch names still exist here. I also personally used to love the fact that the zoning laws, one single law created an architectural style of setbacks and like the wedding cake structure. Like who would have thought it's just one law and then it inspired this form of art, how it adapted to it. I always find that so fascinating, how much the butterfly effect of like one regulation or one law can have. A lot of events to map out, you're right. And also how much of the city has been shaped by like Robert Moses, for example, and how that has changed the urban planning of the city.